Some of you know that I recently moved from Central Florida to Central Oregon. So I'm in a new town. I don't know anybody, but I was out thrifting in a neighboring town called Prineville. And I'm thrifting and I'm filming for you guys, and I'm kind of talking into the camera, and a woman comes up to me and she says, "Kimberly?" And it turns out that she's a viewer from my other channel here on YouTube, Pretty Over 50. If you don't know that channel, you might want to check it out. I'll have it listed in the description box down below. Turns out that she not only lives in my area, but she owns a vintage shop right downtown in the town I'm living in Redmond, Oregon. And oh my gosh, it was so fun to meet her. So I have a new friend now who owns a vintage shop that is so cute. It is adorable. I'll have it listed in the description box down below. If you live in the area or if you're going through the area, you absolutely have to stop by. It's called Swan Song. It's downtown in Redmond. So I met Suzanne, the owner of Swan Song, because she's a viewer. And so funny, she recognized my voice. So she was like a couple of aisles over. I'm filming and talking into the camera, and she didn't even see me, but she heard my voice and she said, "Wait a minute, I know that girl." So she came over and we became friends. We exchanged numbers and this and that. The reason this is important for you guys to know is because she shops vintage, particularly clothing and some other decor items for her shop. She's kind of in the mix of the estate sales and the thrift stores and that sort of thing. So it turns out that both of us were planning on going to an estate sale in that same little town, Prineville, which is about, maybe 20-25 minutes away from the town that she and I both live in. We decided, I guess we'll meet there. Well, comes the morning of that estate sale, and I get a text from her at 6:30 in the morning, and she says, "I'm so sorry I'm texting you this early." Little did she know I've been up since 4:30. You cannot text me too early. You just can't. She said, "I'm at the estate sale at 6:30 in the morning. It doesn't start till 8. She said, "I'm here and I put your name in, like numbers to get into the house." And I'm all shocked because I'm thinking, you need a number to get in? Because where I'm from in Florida, it's not like that. I just hadn't experienced anything like it. And I realized, I suppose that's what happens in a lot of places. So she says, "I put your name in, you're number 8, blah, blah, blah." So I had planned on filming this estate sale. Had my camera already. I was all, hyped up for it. And all of a sudden I realized, Kimberly, you're in a new state, in a new town, with a new culture, and this sounds like it's going to be really busy. Maybe you need to rethink that. So I ended up not filming this estate sale, which turned out to be the exact right decision. Let me tell you what, you guys, I am not kidding you. That house was about this big. It was so tiny, and it was so packed with stuff. I mean, I'm saying stuff in every nook and cranny. This person had been a world traveler and a collector. There was hardly room for a toothpick in that house. And then you open it up and fill it full of people. It was crazy. I mean, you had to turn sideways to go down hallways. It was just nuts. So there's absolutely no way I could have successfully filmed in there. So it was a good thing that I just decided not to. However, I picked up so many things at this estate sale. I couldn't not share it with you guys because I walked out of there with, I think, 32 or 33 items, which for me is huge. If I have a day where I find 6 or 7 items, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, that was a really successful day. This was 32, 33 items, which for me is amazing. And here's the even more amazing part, and I hope if you're sitting on the fence about thrifting or going to estate sales or buying secondhand, that this will kind of send you over the edge. All those items, 32, 33 items, I paid a grand total of $63. or all of it. So we're gonna go through a lot of them today. Some of them were just little things that I'm not gonna show you because they're not that special, like maybe a little basket I'm gonna put on the counter in my house, or just a few things that I'm keeping for myself that were just handy and not necessarily special. But I have in front of me so many fabulous pieces from this estate sale because this person was a world traveler and they had so many cool things. I just had to share them all with you. If you're new here, welcome in. I'm Kimberly. This is Studio Kimberly, where I curate vintage, fine art, and collectibles. I hope you'll consider subscribing while you're here and make sure you click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Most everything you see today will be available at my online shop, ShopStudioKimberly.com, and I'll have that listed in the description box down below. And with that, let's start talking about the things I picked up at this incredibly wild estate sale. I did pick up a number of really, really pretty brass items, and this is one of them. This is actually a 2-dragon etched plate or bowl, depending on how you want to talk about it. It is absolutely gorgeous, solid brass, very, very heavy, in really, really good shape. This is from China and is very, very vintage, and you can tell by that illustration on the plate. So fabulous brass bowl in great condition, and I loved it. Next up, I couldn't pass up this little piece. I thought it was so stinking fun and funny. This is a water buffalo ashtray. Very, very vintage. Carved wood. You can see the wood on the bottom. Isn't that fun? I don't think it's ever been used as an ashtray. But boy, for someone who is a vintage collector, this is such a neat, unique item. And if you take up smoking again, because I think most of us don't smoke anymore, there's a little ashtray for you here as well. This wooden pedestal bowl, isn't that pretty? Look at the carving there. This is very, very vintage, and I believe it's from an Eastern European country, but I'm not sure of which one. I haven't done the research, but look at that carving. It's in excellent condition. It sits on a pedestal, but wait, until you hear this, listen. It's a music box. So it has a little ball right here that when you set it on the table, the music shuts off. But when you lift it up to serve someone like cookies or something, it makes that noise. Isn't that absolutely so fun? These are really, really unique and sought after. You can see I left the old sticker there on the bottom. It's in some Eastern Bloc language, and I don't know what it is. So beautiful carved wood tray pedestal music box. Here's another beautiful piece of brass. Isn't that nice? This is very, very heavy. This is solid brass in that swirl design, and then with that fluted top. These are really, really popular. And you can see the size right about here. This is in nice shape, deep, rich color. I did clean it up a little bit. You could shine it up even more, but I think right about here is a really good amount of patina. This one's really pretty. This piece, I saw this like way down on a shelf in the back in the corner of a room. I'm telling you, this house was so full. I can't even imagine how long that person had been collecting. This is a very neat piece. I actually did some research on this and I have not found another one that still has color on the ceramic piece. This is from Japan. It's antique and it's a double-handled pitcher. And I'm not sure of the type of clay this is, but it's a lighter clay. And all the others that I found like this no longer have the coloration. So this is a nice piece that it's still preserved with the color on most of the areas. And you can see right here on the bottom is the Japan markings. So this is beyond vintage. This is antique, really, really neat piece. And I love the colors and I'm glad that it's in as good a shape as it is. This piece, look at how beautiful this is. This is a birch pedestal container. You could call it a vase, but I'm not really sure that it could be called a vase really. So here's the inside. This is hand turned, very vintage, beautiful birch wood. It has the label on the bottom from the initial artisan who did it. Isn't that pretty? It has a nice shellac coating on it and the wood is really, really pretty. I like this one. It has good weight to it too, in really great condition. I love this little piece. This is copper. I'm really having a thing for copper lately. Are you guys interested in copper? I'm loving copper and I actually have another copper piece that's really pretty. This is a copper and enamel. I think it's enamel coloration on it. So the silver on that is, I think it's enamel, but it's a solid copper plate with that beautiful floral pattern on it. This would look great as a little trinket dish, or you could use it as, you know, a little hors d'oeuvre plate, or if you had some nuts or something. But I think it's just a really, really pretty decor piece. And then you can see the copper on the back. Isn't that nice? In good shape too. Most of the items at this estate sale looked like they had been purchased and then put on display in the house. And I'll tell you what, I spent so much time there. I would, you know, take a load out to my car and think, okay, that's it, and come back in and do another round and find another, you know, 10, 12 things, and then take another load out to my car. And not only was it in the house, but it was outside in the yard too. There's a full garage full of things and all the backyard. So there was really, really quite the event. And Suzanne did well too, my new friend. She found a lot of vintage clothing as well. So beautiful copper plate right here. Here's another brass piece. This is actually from Russia, I'm pretty sure. I have done some research on that, so you can see that pretty pattern along the edging. Solid brass, really nice bowl, great for decorating. And I think that edging just really makes this piece. I'm not sure, it doesn't have any markings on it, but the ones that I researched on the internet, I believe were from Russia, but don't quote me on that. Here you are. Beautiful brass bowl with that nice edging detail. Here's another fun little ashtray. Isn't that cute? This is brass, solid brass. This little guy's heavy with an Asian motif on it. Let me see if I can get you guys to see it. Just a little small ashtray, great little trinket dish, great for decorating. Has a small little pedestal on the bottom. In really good condition. I don't think this was ever actually used as an ashtray. But again, if you take up smoking, you've got an ashtray right here. Here's a bigger piece. This thing's heavy. This is an old solid wood index card holder. Isn't that cool? These have become so sought after, and I can't believe it. I have found 2 in the last couple of weeks. This was at the estate sale. And the drawers, you know, pull out right here. It doesn't have the index card hardware in it anymore. but it is solid wood. It's in pretty good condition. There's a little bit of, aging on the piece. This thing is heavy and it's big, but if you're looking for this kind of thing, this is a really, really great example of a very vintage index card solid wood container. This piece I'll probably just keep for myself. This is a brass planter. You can see inside here, and I'm pretty sure it was used as a planter because there was a little bit of plant material in here. But it's nice. It has some interesting detail on the handles, in pretty good condition. I don't think I'm going to put this in the shop. I am probably just going to stick it around my house somewhere, put a plant in it, and use it here at home. This enamel dish, isn't that pretty? I just loved the colorations on this one. So this is all enamel front and back, and you can see the person would write who it was from or where it was found on the back. And so this one reads Carna Bill. I have no idea what that means, but it's there. So really pretty enamel dish. Again, I don't even know that this was ever used. I think it was just displayed. And I thought that was really pretty coloration in that enameling. Okay, this next one is funny. And I think I only picked it up. Well, I know I only picked it up because of my age. I'm 68, so I, grew up in the 60s and early 70s. If you're near my age, this is gonna make you laugh. This is not the usual thing that I pick up, but I couldn't pass it up just because of the generation I'm from. It's a John Wayne, A Man's Gotta Do 12-ounce mug. It's still in the box. And when I saw it still in the box, I just laughed because when I was growing up, John Wayne was it. He was it. He was the guy. Everybody wanted to marry John Wayne. Everybody wanted to be John Wayne. John Wayne was the guy. And to find a mug still in the container of John Wayne, I just thought this was so fun. So my guess is that there's going to be someone near my age that decides that they really need this in their life because he was such a big deal, in the 60s and 70s. So John Wayne, A Man's Gotta Do. This will be up in the shop. You guys can see what an incredible range of items there were at this estate sale. I don't know that I'll ever go to one quite like that, but it was wild and it was a lot of fun. This next piece is a beautiful handmade wooden box in excellent condition. Isn't that gorgeous? And look at the inside. Look at that. It is so clean and in such good shape. I don't think this has ever been used. That's blue satin at the bottom. And the wood itself is just in really, really good condition. I cleaned it up and wood oiled it. So it was a little thirsty and it's looking better now. And then it has just one metal element in the back. This is a handmade piece. Somebody did a really, really nice job on this one. I have another little brass piece. Isn't that cute? It's just a little basket with a ruffled edging. You can see inside of there. It's a really sweet little piece. Now the handle goes up and down, so you can put it down or put it back up. It's in great condition, very, very vintage. This one is solid brass. It's nice and heavy. Just a really pretty little piece. I think that ruffle edge really adds to this particular design. This piece, I don't know whether to keep at my house or to put it up in the shop. You guys need to let me know. This is a covered basket, and you think, well, it's just a basket, Kimberly. How special is that? Well, this one is really old. It's a really old basket. You can see right there, it's really old and it's in such good shape. I don't think it's, again, ever been used. So it's a lidded basket. Look at the inside. completely clean. You can see the basket work there and the lid. I'm not sure if this is from a foreign country or if this is kind of a made in America kind of thing, but it's just really, really a neat piece. And it's in such good shape. Isn't that pretty? It's really a nice basket. So you guys let me know. Do you think that should go in the shop? I think it's really, really beautiful. This is a little enameled porcelain covered trinket dish or little, you know, ring container. Isn't that pretty? Look at that pattern on the top. Again, just in excellent condition. I don't know if it's ever been used. Pretty colors. Nice gold trim. Isn't that neat? Nice piece. Another nice carved box. This one, I believe, is from India. You guys need to tell me if you're certain about where these are from. It has a label on the bottom, but the label is very faded. I can't read anything on it, but it's really beautifully carved, and it has a little bit of inlay on the top and that carving all the way around. And this one, again, so clean on the inside. I just don't even know that it was ever used. Sitting on the shelf for a long time. So beautiful wood carved box. Again, I wood oiled this up and it just looks terrific. One more brass piece. This is another brass vase, and this one is etched all the way around. You can see that etching there, really pretty. Pedestal vase, nice heavy brass. I cleaned this one up a little bit, but you could make it shinier if you wanted it. I kind of like this level of patina for brass. Isn't that pretty? Nice pedestal piece with gorgeous etching on it. And then the last piece from this amazing estate sale is this hammered copper plate. How pretty is this? I am really loving copper these days. I love the warmth of the tone, and the hammering on this is really, really nice. Here's the back. And again, I don't know that this has ever been used. Has nice little edging too, little scalloped edging with the hammered copper, and you can see the size right here. Just a really pretty hammered copper piece. This is great for decor items. That was my haul from this crazy wild estate sale, and I want to thank Suzanne so much for putting my name on the list, because I ended up, you know, hopping in the car earlier than I had planned to get there, and I kind of slipped in right at the beginning, which gave me an opportunity to pick up some things that might have been gone if I had gone later like I had planned. So really fun day. I hope you enjoyed this video. I sure had fun sharing what I found. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Again, I'm Kimberly. This is Studio Kimberly. Most everything you see today will be available in my online shop at StudioKimberly.com. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye now.